It's an everyday thing, it's an everyday thing, it's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
I want to thank the people who don't support my show and what I believe, but support my right to share those beliefs anyway. People who I never would have imagined, like Ben Shapiro, Clay Travis, Candace Owens, Mitch McConnell, Rand Paul, even my old pal Ted Cruz, who, believe it or not, said something very beautiful on my behalf.
I hate what Jimmy Kimmel said. I am thrilled that he was fired.
Oh, wait, no, not that. The other part.
But let me tell you, if the government gets in the business of saying,
we can't say
what you, the media, have said, we're going to ban you from the airwaves if you don't say what we like, that will end up bad for conservatives.
I don't think I've ever said this before, but Ted Cruz is right. He's absolutely right. This affects all of us, including him. I mean, think about it. If Ted Cruz can't speak freely, then he can't cast spells on the Smurfs. Even though I don't agree with many of those people on most subjects, some of the things they say even make me want to throw up. It takes courage for them to speak out against this administration, and they did, and they deserve credit for it. And thanks. For telling your followers that our government cannot be allowed to control what we do and do not say on television.
And I'd like to say this administration, not the commander-in-chief, but everybody up under him, tread lightly, because your ass will get fired. Ted Cruz, I don't think Donald Trump liked Ted Cruz anyway, but just for that reason, Ted Cruz he don't mind speaking out against the administration or the other right-wing Republicans. He don't mind that. Okay, so Ted Cruz ain't a bad guy. He say some dumb shit, but he ain't a bad guy. And it's good he in Texas, because Texas sucks, okay?
Top Republicans also are not defending everything Trump is doing, as it's all cast in the open this week. A Republican senator warning the censorship effort should make everyone careful about any lines we cross in diminishing free speech, while none other than Ted Cruz rebuking Trump's efforts to try to control or decide your free speech.
I think it is unbelievably dangerous for government to put itself in the position of saying, we're going to decide what speech we like and what we don't. If the government gets in the business of saying, we don't like what you, the media, have said, we're going to ban you from the airwaves if you don't say what we like, that will end up bad for conservatives.
That's Ted Cruz's concern. He's a longtime lawyer turned politician. He's extremely conservative in his politics, and you saw he put a little political point at the end. He said that would be bad for conservatives. Of course, it would be bad for liberals and libertarians and people with other varied views, because since the founding of this country, it is bad for the government to try to control public speech, free press, and if they get away with it and do it enough, we don't have a democracy anymore.
You hear that? You hear that? I guess we can all agree. Freedom of press, freedom of speech. You know, we are right wing, left wing, whatever wing you decide you want to float with. You better stay on this freedom of speech crap, or we're gonna shut you down. Imagine being in North Korea. Do you know what happens over there? You can't speak freely. You can't get on your phone. You can't get on your TikTok. You can't get on your YouTube, your Facebook, and just speak your mind. Okay? So y'all keep that in mind, because if they start controlling and regulating, and you know who want to do it. He wants to take all of the night show hosts off the air. Every one of them. He has a hit list for night show hosts. Okay, and if y'all don't get on this train, okay, y'all have to, MAGA, y'all have to speak out on this. Okay, we have to hear y'all voices, because it's a lot of MAGA people who are quiet. Y'all don't believe in freedom of speech? Do y'all have thin skin? Y'all need to let Ted Cruz be y'all leader. I swear y'all need to let Ted Cruz be y'all leader. Cause y'all just too much thin skin out here. Y'all get butthurt about what people have to say about you.
He threatens explicitly, we're going to cancel ABC's license. We're going to take him off the air so ABC cannot broadcast anymore. And I got to say, he threatens it. He says, we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way.
Yeah.
And I got to say, that's right out of Goodfellas. That's right out of a mafioso coming into a bar going, nice bar you have here. It'd be a shame if something happened to it. And I got to say, look, I understand. Jimmy Kimmel has mocked me so many times I cannot count. The corporate media, they are dishonest. They are liars. I hate what Jimmy Kimmel said. I am thrilled that he was fired. But let me tell you, if the government gets in the business of saying, we don't like what you, the media, have said, we're going to ban you from the airwaves if you don't say what we like, that will end up bad for conservatives. It reminds me of, you and I are both fans of The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
J.R.R. Tolkien. It reminds me of like the Ring of Power. And it is so attractive. It's sort of like conservatives saying, wait, if we have government, we have power. Yeah. We can ban the media. Let me tell you what will happen. Going down this road, there will come a time when a Democrat wins again. Wins the White House.
They will get rid of every talk show in America that's a conservative. They'll get rid of every podcast. They'll get rid of everybody on YouTube.
They will silence us. They will use this power, and they will use it ruthlessly. Yeah. And that is dangerous. And by the way, in the Biden administration, they tried to go after and revoke Fox's license because they didn't like, and they say everything they say on Fox is hate speech. I'm sure they say everything you and I say is hate speech, is misinformation. Sure. They've defined anything counter to the leftist narrative as misinformation. Now, we just talked about Jimmy Kimmel was lying. But you know what? It's interesting. Brendan said, well, gosh, they slandered Charlie Kirk and his family. You know what? If they slandered him, there's already a remedy. There's a remedy of defamation. ABC could be sued. And by the way, you get a defamation lawsuit, you could pay millions of dollars. Let that process play out. I think it is unbelievably dangerous for government to put itself in the position of saying, we're going to decide what speech we like and what we don't, and we're going to threaten to take you off air if we don't like what you're saying. And it might feel good right now to threaten Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
But when it is used to silence every conservative in America, we will regret it. And so, again, I like Brendan Carr, but we should not be in this business. We should denounce it. It's fine to say what Jimmy Kimmel said was deplorable, it was disgraceful, and he should be off air, but we shouldn't be threatening government power to force him off air. That's a real mistake.
Did y'all hear what Jimmy Kimmel actually said? It may have been a tad bit insensitive, but the jokes weren't jokes weren't towards Charlie Kirk. If you ask me, I don't think they were towards. I think they were more towards Trump and how Trump really don't care about Charlie Kirk. And that's fine, because Trump just trying to find him a new wife after Melania. That's all he's trying to do. But that's neither here nor there. But Ted Cruz is speaking the truth. And I just want to see more right-wing people say Ted Cruz is right. Say Ted Cruz is right. We need to support Jimmy Kimmel. Because what? Because this is the freedom of speech. This is our First Amendment. And it's okay for Jimmy Kimmel. Let me tell you why Jimmy Kimmel has a hard on for Trump. And it's kind of sickening. I really don't like it. I already told you. I don't like listening to Trump jokes every day because they're kind of whack, really. But actually the jokes write themselves. Like you really don't have to. You don't need Dion Cole to write all your jokes because they really write themselves. But Jimmy Kimmel, his son was sick back in like 2016, 2017. And the funding for his surgery or some procedure that his son had to have was cut by Donald Trump. And ever since then, Jimmy Kimmel did not like Donald Trump. And he fought for him every day. And he fought for his son's medical bills or expenses. I don't know what it was. But whatever it was, Jimmy Kimmel stopped liking Trump, and that from that day forward, Jimmy Kimmel went in on Trump night after night after night. And if y'all don't believe me, just go back and look. It was horrific. But I ain't saying the jokes is funny, and I think it may be lightweight bullying at some point, because it's been what, shit, almost 10 years, and he's still beating down on every time Trump say something stupid. You know what I'm saying? And he won't let it go because that was his son. And I feel him, because if that was my kid, it'd be, we enemies for life. We enemies for life. And Trump hates that. Trump wants somebody on air who is going to kiss up. Like, listen, if y'all ever listen to Trump on who, I ain't saying Trump, he say whatever he want to. He say whatever he want to. He call people bad words. He grabs them by the crotch, all that stuff. So the thing is, with that being said, when he gets on these teleprompters and he says egregious stuff, do you think he wants to be silenced for what he says? No, even though he can't be, because he's the commander in chief. But what I'm saying is, once you start silencing one person, it's going to go across the board, and it's going to come a day in reckoning where nobody can get online and say what they want to say. We're going to be the next North Korea.
My only issue with Jimmy Kimmel and this whole brouhaha he finds himself inflamed with is not that, oh my God, you can't say a joke. I am incredibly alarmed by what appears to be our First Amendment rights being attacked. This is what I do for a living. I don't like that. But you know he's coming. And you know part of the reason why is to get back at everybody who tried to take him down. They didn't try to keep him out of the White House and that was it. They tried to throw him in prison. The man is coming. And you have to adjust accordingly. Nexstar has to adjust. All these broadcast corporations have to adjust. Madison Avenue has to adjust. Wall Street has to adjust. Corporate America has to adjust. China's had to adjust. Mexico has had to adjust. France, England, Germany, everybody has to make an adjustment. It's the real world. I don't like it. I'm alarmed by it. I'm scared of it. But I have to march forward. As do all of you. That's what I was saying about Jimmy Kimmel. That's what I'd say about Stephen Colbert or anybody else. Part of winning the game is knowing the game you're playing and adjusting accordingly to ensure that when all is said and done, you come out on top.
All I heard was, Massa said, don't you go saying that about that boy. I take. Do not tell them you can read. If they learn you can read, they gonna whip you, boy. Just don't do it. Shut up and do as I say. All right? We just trying to make it. You want to come in here with all this? You want to come in here with all your jokes and challenging the FCC and challenging the commander in chief, and you want Massa don't like that, boy. That's all I heard.